opportunity for us and a stepping stone to the next phase of Multiversus. We know there's still a lot of work to do. As a result, we have a clearer view of what we need to focus on, specifically the content cadence of new characters, maps, and modes to give you more ways to enjoy the game. Along with an updated netcode and more matchmaking improvements, we'll also be reworking the progression system based on your feedback and looking at new ways for you to connect with your friends in the game. To do this the right way, we'll be closing the Multiversus open beta 90 days from today. As part of this process, we'll be pausing updates and taking the game offline as we prepare for the launch of Multiversus, which we're targeting for early 2024. I'm sure you're wondering what this means for you. During this downtime, all online modes and features will be unavailable. You'll have limited offline access to the training room, known as a lab, and local matches, along with access to your characters and cosmetic items within these modes. We do know that this news might be disappointing, but rest assured, Multiversus will be back. We'll also ensure that all your progress and content will carry over when Multiversus returns next year.
Wow. Hello, everyone. Today we usually would be all joking and making fun of MVS and stuff, but today is more of a sad and humbled tone. Joe has really been taking the news very hard. He really has not been saying much to any of us today, and I think he might be in depression ever since hearing this news. I hate to see my friend like this, but Joe really does love this game. I didn't expect to see anything like this. Today is actually so shocking for the whole Multiversus community as a whole.
I tried to save Joe all the pain and hurt this game was going to bring him. I tried to tell him month after month that this game is dead, and look at it now, officially a dead game. Joe should have listened to Big Donald J, because I speak nothing but the truth. Even if it's cold, hard truth, I have to speak it.
I mean, I'm not the biggest Multiversus fan myself, Donald. But this game was promising at its release, Donald. Even all the Smash players were sweating for a second. I'm not here to compare those two games. We are here to appreciate what we got in the open beta of Multiversus for Joe. Donald, don't forget that.
Appreciate what, Obama? What am I exactly appreciating right now? I'm not an MVS simp like Sleepy Joe. I warned him so many times that this game is just not it. Now I have to sit here and appreciate the downfall of something I've been knowing was falling this whole time. You do it yourself, Obama. You MVS babies can sit there crying. Meanwhile, us Smash players just got done enjoying Summit. Two different worlds we live in, Obama.
All right, I'm sick of this. Shut the hell up, Donald, before I smack that damn macaroni hair you have on your head. I'm done hearing you talk about one of my favorite video games of all time. You sit there and act like a little Smash ultimate elitist, so sick and tired of people like you. Exactly why your community is full of transphobe bigots. You want to know why you should be appreciating Multiversus right now? Well, I will tell you why. I'm done sitting over here being quiet and listening to you spit nonsense out of that dumb mouth of yours. How about you just sit back and be quiet for this video and let me explain the truth to everyone about what next for MVS.
Oh, looks like the baby has stopped crying. Well, go ahead, Joe. I will sit here with my mouth closed for the rest of the video. At least I don't have to talk about this dead game anymore.
You know, Donald, you really aren't being a true friend to Joe right now.
Thank you, Obama. Since this 5-year-old child is done talking, we can finally discuss how this was one of the most important and biggest decisions that will save MVS and make it a big game again in the long run. First, let's talk about all the complaints and concerns players had. Tony addressed a lot of the issues that the community has been saying for a long time. He talked about fixing the battle passes, which means to me that when we buy the battle pass, we will get in-game currency when we level through it. As well as what they are focusing on, the first thing that Tony said was they have figured out what they need to focus on for updates such as characters, maps, and modes, which is content, ladies and gentlemen. So that means MVS will be fresh each update having either a new mode, character, or map, which is wonderful news.
Oh, Joe, you also can't forget that they did say they were updating the netcode. Man, that is so much huge news to me because this was the only thing holding the game back for me. You can't be an online-only played game and your netcode being very bad. Fighting games live off their replayability. Nobody wants to replay a game that has so much desync and lag connection issues. If MVS can nail it at release with the netcode, well, I'm telling you now, you found another customer.
That's another good point, Obama. Oh, as well as Tony kind of teasing some more ways to play with your friends on Multiversus. I don't really know what that means, it's kind of vague. But maybe Multiversus will come to Nintendo Switch. There were leaks about Multiversus coming to phones. But for its official release, MVS does not need to be worrying about mobile right now. They need to focus on a great, amazing foundation for release, then expanding on the foundation consistently. Then we can start talking about mobile because I wouldn't mind, but I need the main product to be great first.
So I guess Multiversus will be shutting down online on June 25th, Joe? Kind of sad to say that, not going to lie. But they will be returning in early 2024, so man, everyone is going to be hyped for next year. I guess you can play offline or whatever still, but no updates or content will be coming to the game till next year?
Well, that's pretty much all the information that was given to us for now. You know, for a game that was so dead. A game in open beta, by the way, won Best Fighting Game of the Year. Now, how many games can you name have done that? With over 10 million players playing this game. Official release will turn everyone's eyes, and you have to be honest about that. Tony said they will be updating the community during downtime of the game. So maybe we'll get a bunch of teases to new characters being added to the release, as well as maps, changes, and modes. I wouldn't be surprised if Multiversus came back with 6 new added characters to the game at release. At the least, it's 3 because Joker has been leaked, and as well as they can revisit some scrapped characters like Godzilla and Lord of the Rings.
Oh, Joe, we also have to say this as well. WB or whoever at PFG, Player First Games, needs a bigger team to handle the big demand for this game. You can't expect a small indie studio to keep up with the huge demands players have. If you invest big into this, the return is humongous. The release of Open Beta alone had 10 million people checking it out. If you expand and get the right strong people at Player First Games, this will be a huge success, even more than Hogwarts Legacy.
Well said, Obama. Well said, guilds and more are just some of the things I can think at release to connect with your friends more in MVS. I would love to hear everyone's thoughts who are watching this video. Please let us know how you feel about this news for Multiversus. It's like a lot of people wanted to ignore the fact that it did say it was in open beta. Even for me, for a while, I ignored the open beta tag on it because it was just such a good game. I would like to say thank you to everyone at Player First Games and the Multiversus team. I love the experience I put into this game. I never spent more hours of my life of an open beta of a game, and that says a lot. I hope you're getting the backing you need to make this just more than a passion project. But this can be an amazing dream come true. It really can. Thank you everyone that stopped by on this video. Till next time, this is Big Biden signing out.
Wait before we go, Joe. I would also like to say I, again, was not the biggest fan of the game. But it's crazy how people think that this game is dead and it's time to move on when literally 2.5 million people watched the announcement of MVS ending its open beta. And this was just on Twitter, by the way. So cope all you Multiversus haters, this game will have the fighting scene on notice when it returns. If Multiversus gets things right for its release and keeps the ball going for many seasons to come, we are going to be having a hard time not saying MVS wasn't one of the greatest games of the decade. Okay, this is about it. We are very excited for 2024 of Multiversus, a lot of big things to come. Have a good night, everyone. Who knows when we will be back talking about this game, but all I know was what a time it was. Thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
We'll also ensure that all your progress and content will carry over when Multiversus returns next year, with a variety of new content, features, and modes. Along the way, we'll be providing updates, so keep an eye on our social channels and website. Thank you again to the entire Multiversus community. We greatly appreciate your passion and excitement, and look forward to our next chapter with you. Thank you.
I want you with me. I see it clearly.